key points on Blackpool, but looking at that starting lineup, how are you feeling?
Unsure, really, because we know where they are in the table. We know the start to the season they've had, change of managers. They've spent a lot of money, as Brendan says, and they've got some good players in there. Horsfall, is it? Who was at Stockport last year. He is a giant of a man, and he had success against us last year, didn't he? From set pieces, he was one of the players I wished we went and bought, because he was a real standout player last year in League One. So they get good at the back. Obviously, we know Jordan Brown. We don't need to talk about him. Hope he has a very, very quiet, ineffective game today.
Let's talk about Jordan Brown. He was a league winner, a great player for the club. Not gonna hope he does well today, but in terms of what he does on the pitch, I feel like he kind of went under the radar for us a bit in terms of how good he is as a player, and Blackpool spent a lot of money on, gave him a big deal. He is one to watch out for.
Is he one to watch out for? Is he going to go and assist and score loads of goals and stuff? Not for me. He's a holding defensive midfield player. He sits there and he does his job, and he does it very effectively. He is a loss. I think he would have done really well in our team again this year. It's a loss, but to me he's dead. No, I'm joking. No, he's a good player. Why he was here, he was a really nice lad, and he done very, very well. But yeah, just he's not, for me, he's not going to be the match winner. He'll probably score a hat-trick today.
Yeah, I wasn't going to say it, Glenn, but you've jinxed it now. Hopefully not. If we look back to not the reverse fixture, but the last time we played them away, we got very fortunate. I think they missed about 3 open goals. Some absolute sitters were missed. Probably we got away with one on the day. They're a different side to that now, though, aren't they?
They are, but there's still some similar personnel, and I still think it'll be broadly similar in terms of, I think they'll be quite open today, I think, and that suits us. I think the games, I think I spoke about last week, the game against Exeter, I don't think those games suit us as much. I think when teams come to Brisbane Road and sit 10 behind the ball and try and defend and play for set pieces, I think those games we tend to struggle in. We got the result last weekend, but it wasn't a vintage performance. Whereas today, like I said about Ian Evatt, he only knows one way of playing, and it's about being expansive, passing out from the back, flying bodies forward. So I think it's a case where there'll be space to exploit today for Orient, and it's about how we can get the likes of Connolly and O'Neill and Ballard into those dangerous positions.
They've only lost one of their last 4 league fixtures, Glenn. It's not as clear cut as they're just not in a good run of form, really.
No, this game could go all 3 ways today. It's really difficult to call for me. What I like what you said though, Brendan, is they're going to look to play out from the back. Now, if we get our press right and we all sort of press in numbers, there's going to be opportunity, especially with the players we've got. We will go and attack and hopefully win the ball high up in the pitch. At Horsfall, we know when he was in the Stockport side last year, he didn't have the ball at his feet. They just launched it long and played the longer ball. So it'd be interesting if they roll the ball out to him in defence, because he's one that I think we could target.
Let's take a look at some of the goals conceded then for Blackpool, Glenn. We see some of these, and they're a team that can be got at, a bit leaky.
Yeah, they are, and Brendan off camera told me their goalkeeper's rubbish. So looking at the goals they've conceded, he's obviously, any goal goes in, the goalkeeper doesn't look too great, but he won't be full of confidence. The number of goals they've let in an awful lot of set pieces. I think it was 13 so far this season. So there's somewhere else to exploit areas. They ship goals, but who are we to talk? You know, we're great at one end and we're not so great at the other end. So both teams will be looking to tighten up at the back. It
is a case, though. I think obviously, as all games of football are, we need to go out and score more than them.
Yeah, definitely, and I think. I hope Jordan Brown doesn't play well, and hope Bailey Peacock-Farrell doesn't play well after that. But I think it was the case where, looking at Blackpool's summer business, they spent a lot of money and they bought players, but everyone kind of around football and around League One kind of thought, why have they bought this goalkeeper? Why have they done that? And it's proven the case. He hasn't been great so far. And then also, Glenn made a really good point about Horsfall. This defence especially was bought for Steve Bruce, for playing how Steve Bruce wants to play. So they're, like you say, Ian Evatt, Steve Bruce, completely different styles of football. And if they're playing out, not just Horsfall, but Ihikwe as well, they're not the most comfortable ball players. So I think that's somewhere where we can get at them. We'll see how they do it and how they go about things. But I think if you have Aaron Connolly and Ollie O'Neill, Don Ballard running at them, pressing them, I think there's mistakes to be made there.
We talk about this transition from Bruce to Everton, and yes, things take time, but it has been a few weeks now. That probably haven't won as many games as the owners would have wanted to since bringing Everton in, but things start to click for them. Yeah,
they've been okay. Like last weekend, they lost to Burton, who are in a good run of form, and it's not the ideal result, but it's not absolutely terrible. And I think Ian Evatt is a very good manager at this level. He's proven it with Bolton before, so he'll get a grips on it eventually. Hopefully not this weekend, but I think you're right. I think eventually they'll rise up the table because they've got good personnel there. They've spent a lot of money and they've got a good manager.
Are you confident?
Do you know what? I think we'll win today. I just think it's time to kick on now. Let's stop the inconsistency. Whereas we win a couple of games, we'll have a bad game like we did at Wycombe the other week. I think we now need to stop the silliness, get back to basics, do things the right way, and then really push on and kick on and get our season going. And I think with the win last week, I think that could be sort of a really good barometer of where we are and what we can do, and now push on. And we need to turn this Brisbane Road into a fortress.
I think everyone harks on about the last couple of seasons where we probably didn't start great, and there's many reasons for that, and then it was just one turning point that did it. And I think you look at the first season in League One, it was a really scrappy win against Cheltenham, who were bottom of the league at the time. You look at last season, it was a last minute Josh Keeley goal to keep us in the FA Cup. So I think maybe there's potential that Exeter game where it was quite a scrappy win in the end, but we got it over the line and we had that moment and we turned it round in front of the crowd at Brisbane Road. Hopefully that's a catalyst, and then we see the confidence come back into the side, and we can see the true kind of Orient under Richie Wellens that we know and we threatened to provide multiple times this season.
I just feel today is key with, I know Richie's spoken about over the season so far, long throws, corners against. With the defenders we spoke about, for them, they are big units and they cause problems. We need to minimise that, and we need to sort of not give cheap throw-ins, cheap corners away.
Well, just under 5 minutes to go until kick-off, so don't forget, if you're watching along live on our YouTube stream, then you can follow all the action with us here on Orient Live. UK fans, you can pick up an audio pass, and international fans, you can get a match pass for £10 to watch every kick, every single minute of action here on Orient Live. Right then, before we hand over to our commentary team, let's remind ourselves of how the teams shape up as we get ready for today's game against Blackpool. Starting in goal for the O's is number 33, Killian Carhill. Across the back line, we have Teo Adaramola and Michael Craig. In the full-back positions, Dan Happy and Omar Beckles, who wears the armband, are at centre-back. Idris El Mazouni partners Tyreek Bakinson. Aaron Connolly and Ollie O'Neill occupy the wide areas, with Charlie Wellens in that number 10 position, and leading the line is Don Ballard. And on the bench is Tommy Simkin, Sean Clare, Azim Abdullah Jayassimi, Josh Karoma and Alfie Lloyd. Now the players should be making their way out onto the pitch. I can hear them coming out onto the pitch. We should be able to see them any second, Brendan. I'm excited.
Yeah, I think I want to see again that vintage Richie Wellens Orient performance where we control the game, we get a couple of goals, we go 2-0 up, and then we just manage the game really well. And that's what I'm hoping we see, because that will be a sign that we're heading back in the right direction today.
2-0 up? Why not 4-0 up?
We don't do it.
Well, it would be good to see that, though, wouldn't it?
Do you know what? I'm looking at us flying out of traps, starting really aggressively, being really fast, really putting them under pressure, cause them to make mistakes and win the ball out of the pitch, and allow front three, front four go and work their magic.
Do you think that will happen?
I hope so.
Well, I hope so too. Well then, both sets of players are making their way out, or have made their way out onto the pitch. So it's time for Dave Victor and Matt Hiscock to tell us all about it. Over to you guys.
Of the division at the moment, with 7 defeats so far, and well, welcome to Brisbane Road. what should be a fascinating encounter. Leyton Orient looking to build on 5 straight wins here at home in all competitions, and back-to-back league wins for the first time this season, and Blackpool looking to improve on what is the worst away day record in the division. How do you see this one going, Matt?
Well, I think it'll be tight, Dave, I really do. I think Orient just about did enough last weekend against Exeter City here. Of course, Ian Evatt will be desperate to see his Blackpool team get off the mark away from home, as you say, which has been a real